G'day, Steel Nation. The OTAs are now done. However, I've got 5 questions for you guys to answer in the chat. G'day, guys. Welcome back to the Pittsburgh Steelers Syndicate. I'm your host, Mark, and thank you once again for checking out our channel. In today's video, we are going to tackle 5 questions that I want you guys to answer in the chat. Put in the comments for every question. I will try and, if I can, I will try and pin these questions in the chat if I know how to do that. But if I don't know how to do it, every time a question comes up on the screen, let's talk about it because the OTAs are now done. We are now moving into that period where Stephon Tuitt has retired. We just signed Tuzar's skipper, and we talked about him. Or Owen broke the news, right? So now the big thing is, I've got 5 questions that I kind of want to answer what is leading into the mini camp. So let's start with the very first one, and of my own kind of mailbag, right? If you call it that. And this is the big question I still think is going to be go throughout the whole offseason. Do the Steelers know who QB1 is? Do the Pittsburgh Steelers actually know right now who QB1 is? So if you guys have your thoughts, put them in the chat right now. Put them in the comment section, and I want to hear your answer. All right? Do the Pittsburgh Steelers know who QB1 is? If we go to the QB depth chart, we have Mitchell Trubisky, who got signed for a 2-year deal from Buffalo and a former Bear. We have Mason Rudolph, who's now going into, I think it's his 5th year this year, or 4th year. I can't remember which one, right? So he's been there, back up to Ben. Started a few games. I think he's 9-8, and there are some people on the train that, start Mason, give him a shot, and there are other people saying that Mason sucks, he's terrible, and we don't want him to be QB number 1. You then also have Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is our rookie from this year, a number 1 overall pick for number 20. And we have Chris Oladukin, who was drafted round 7. In my opinion, I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers will go out and get any more quarterbacks. I think we have enough. I think these 4 guys will fight it out for their position. But in regards to who will be QB number 1, I still think, and it's growing on me every day, I still think that Mitchell Trubisky will be QB number 1 under center from week 1 when they go and verse the Bengals. That is my opinion, based off because I don't think you want to push Kenny Pickett out there so fast and put him under that pressure as a rookie. And I believe that Trubisky will beat out Pickett and he will beat out Rudolph. And I think that Oladukin will go to practice squad or 3rd. So my view, who do the Steelers have as QB1 right now? It's Mitchell Trubisky. Now, things can change. Next question. All right. So I want to hear your thoughts on question 2. How do the Steelers fill the Tuitt void? How do the Pittsburgh Steelers fill that defensive end void, Stephon Tuitt, which was the saga over the last year was quite crazy. Okay. Yes. With respects to him and his personal decision about his brother and his health. But on one side of the coin, it did feel like, as fans, we didn't know what was happening for a very long time. Will Tuitt come? Will he stay? Will he retire? Will he play? We don't know. Now we finally know, so we can move on past that. We say thank you to it, much like Big Ben. Thank you to it. Thank you for everything you did as a Pittsburgh Steeler, and no doubt that Tuitt will be around the facility in years to come to give advice and maybe possibility. He could even go into a coaching role as well. Tuitt is so intelligent and such a football guy. But the question is, how do the Pittsburgh Steelers fill that Tuitt void? Now, if you go to the depth chart, right, of course you have Cameron Hayward, Tyson Alualu, who I think will be starters, right? On the depth chart now, you have Chris Wormley, who's a former Baltimore Raven. He played a bit last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I wouldn't say that he's a starter, but when you think about it, who do we have? If Stephon Tuitt's not starting, do we have to put in a guy like Chris Wormley there? Or do we go into the second-year player like Isaiah Loudermilk, or a possibility even starting DeMarvin Leal? But he's a rookie, 3rd-round rookie. So those are the options. I'm not saying they're bad options. I'm not saying they're bad options. I just don't know if Isaiah Loudermilk, Wormley, or Leal, or possibility even if Henry Mondeau starts on the front. Maybe you could put Tyson Alualu, defensive end, and put Mondo or Montravius Adams at nose tackle. So this is a very big void, and I tell you right now, I don't have the answer. But if I were to choose someone, does the likely ranks of Isaiah Loudermilk progressing into his second year, he's got bigger and better. He kind of looks like a Cameron Hayward. Does he go on the other side, right? Do they start Chris Wormley at starter and then feed him the reps and then slowly introduce DeMarvin Leal? That is a huge question, but I want to hear your thoughts, right? How do the Steelers fill the Tuitt void? A massive void right now. We don't know. So that is one to watch going into minicamp in the next few weeks. The next question: do the Steelers need to address the running back number 2 spot? Right. This is another huge question because Najee Harris had 82% carries or something similar, 80% carries last year, and I think between McFarland, Snell, and Ballage, they had I think less than 15% of carries for the running back number 2 over the whole year and less than 100 yards. Is there a chance or do the Steelers need to address the running back number 2? Do they stick with the running back committee in the room? Does Najee a true number 1? Of course. Does Benny Snell, does he get more snaps this year? Does he get 8 to 10 snaps a game? Does McFarland, coming off that injury last year and playing nothing last year, does he finally get a chance to prove to be running back number 2 or 3, right? Do they go to the undrafted guys? I know a lot of you guys like Mateo Durant and Jalen Warren. Now, one of my favorites, and call me crazy, but I've always liked Trey Edmonds. I don't know why, because maybe he's just a bigger back. Not saying that he can be number 2, but right now for me, if Snell is healthy and Snell has improved as a running back, because we all know that he runs into a brick wall and he can't get around that. Same with McFarland. I think it may be Snell if they keep him on the roster. That is a big question, but I'm not too sure if the Pittsburgh Steelers go out and sign another free agent, even though we do have a spot with Tuitt leaving. So for my opinion, right now it's probably Snell and then McFarland, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with these other running backs. Right. Question 4. So I want to hear your thoughts on will the Steelers address the running back 2 situation? That was question 3. Question 4. What impact will Flores have on the linebacking core? Now, this could mean anything. This could mean, is there a more positive, linebacking core room, like him as a linebackers coach? I think he's doing middle linebacker, and I think, or outside linebackers. I know Jerry Orlowski is in there too. He does like the linebacking stuff. So you got those 2 fellas, but Flores being a head coach, does he help this team out? And what impact does he provide on these young fellas? We do know now that Miles Jack, I think, came out in a recent interview saying that he wanted to come to the Steelers because of Flores was there. You have the defensive player of the year, TJ Watt. Head coach Flores coming in. Does he help out TJ? Third-year Highsmith, right? Also, there are new guys too, Jannard Avery from the Eagles and Tuzar Skipper coming back. Is there more depth on this line? Because I think we need that. I think the Steelers, if they go into this year with only 2 true starters and they're all star players like TJ Watt and Highsmith, I think you need someone behind that. I think you need some talent and some depth behind that to increase our chances to win. So what impact do you think? I'll give you guys a rating. What impact will Flores have on the linebacking core? Let's go from 1 to 10. What impact will Flores have on the linebacking core? I will say 8. I think he'll have a good impact because just of his talent level and his head coach ability. And I got a feeling that there's a big reason why Mike Tomlin and his crew brought in Flores to spark up this defense. So I'm going to say 8. Last question. Will Joe Hayden sign with the Steelers? Now, this is a controversial one or a big topic as well. Now, with the departure of Tuitt, there's also another spot, right? I think we have 89 spots on the roster, so there's a chance we can bring back Joe Hayden if we want to. The big thing is, will Joe Hayden, I know he hasn't been in the news recently. You haven't heard any cryptic tweets for a long time, but will Joe Hayden sign with the Steelers? I think of this 2 ways. I kind of think if there's a chance the Steelers can sign him for a veteran minimum deal, if that's 1 year, 2 years, like for the vet minimum, I wouldn't mind seeing Joe come back in this defense just because of how new and fresh it is, and for him to work with Minka again and Terrell and Cameron Haywood and TJ Watt. I wouldn't mind that. Now, will Joe go find another team and sign a big deal for 3 or 4 years, or the last 2 years maybe? I don't know. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts, because this is one I truly don't know if Joe will come back. Because he has not been in the news for a very long time. So will Joe Hayden sign with the Steelers? I want to say yes, but this could go either way. Joe Hayden could walk off into the sunset and go sign with another team. Joe Hayden could also retire and just call it quits like Tua did. Or Joe Hayden could sign with the Steelers for a 1 or 2 year deal at a vet minimum. And I would be happy for that too. So that's our last question. Will Joe Hayden sign with the Steelers? Thanks, guys. If you want to try and comment below those 5 questions, or even just, I'll try and leave the comment there. I think I can do that. I'll try and put the comments in, and you can answer under those questions. So we do have fast pace. Do the Steelers know QB number 1? How do the Steelers fill the Tuitt void? Next question. Do the Steelers need to address RB2? What impact will Flores have on the linebacking core? And will Joe Hayden sign with the Steelers? So I will leave those questions in the comment section. Please feel free to answer them, and myself and Owen will try to respond and get your guys' input and comments on those 5 questions. Hey guys, thank you for checking out the video. If you made it this far, hit that sub button. It's going to help us out. We hit the 1,000K recently, but we want to go harder in the paint. We want to keep going and going and going and going. So thank you for everyone who subscribes, comments, and yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We're having a lot of fun talking football. So here we go, Steelers. Here we go.